Hi, Jen. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. Um, I know we've been trying to do this for a little bit now, so it's nice that we finally get to do this. So you're an elder, and is Glow your brain trial?
Um, yeah, I guess yes. So I am on the session at the Presbyterian Church in Burlington, Massachusetts, and it youth ministry has sort of always been my passion. Well, children and youth ministry, working with children and youth and retreats and camping ministry. So when I moved into the area, I was really looking for something to do with youth, and I didn't really see anything. So I thought it could be neat to try something different and create a youth ministry that went across a larger region and connected youth from around New England.
So what does Glow stand for?
GLOW doesn't stand for anything. We chose the name, the youth chose the name from after a brainstorming session. And so we decided that we wanted to be New England Glow because we wanted to shine light into the world through our ministry. So that was how the name came about.
Nice. So tell us just a little bit more. What are some of your hopes and aspirations for Glow?
We are sort of hoping to just continue with building the youth ministry. It's really new, so far it's been all online, but we're hoping to continue with online and in-person aspects of youth ministry in the region to connect those youth and leaders, as well as provide resources and opportunities for connection for youth leaders across the region. Youth ministry can sometimes be very lonely, so connecting youth leaders and giving them a chance to chat, share ideas, and support each other.
How is it different than other youth programs, youth ministry programs?
A couple of the things that we focus on is connecting people from across the region and building a vibrant community for youth and youth leaders. And one of our goals is to share the leadership responsibilities among the youth and youth leaders in the region to encourage cooperation and collaboration. Another thing that we are doing intentionally is our planning team consists of both youth and adults. So getting input and direction from the youth and what's meaningful to them and what they want to do is really important to us. And so maintaining a sort of ratio of at least 1/3 of the leadership team being youth is really important. And then the other aspect is a large part of our ministry is online, which allows youth from across the region to connect with one another throughout the year, because in many of our churches, especially rural churches, there are only a few youth who may not get the chance to have a youth group or make connections with other youth and sort of build faith through relationships.
So where is this actually happening at this moment? Where are your churches and youth coming from at this moment?
So we meet on Zoom. We have youth from about, I would say, 7 churches right now who meet. Our leadership team represents 7 churches across the region, but we've had sort of interaction, communication with about 18 churches across the region. And coming up in the fall, we're hoping to expand that a little bit and have more participation from youth from even more churches.
Where are the churches located?
The churches are located in the Presbytery of Boston and the Presbytery of Northern New England. And we have a couple of churches in the Presbytery of Southern New England interested in joining us in some of our activities this fall.
Well, that's wonderful. So what are your activities? I know you've been meeting on Zoom, but
Yeah.
what have you been doing?
So our youth group meets the first 3 Sundays of the month. We're on break right now for the summer and focusing more on planning for the next year. But we do game night the first Sunday of the month, Bible study the second Sunday of the month, and movie night the third Sunday of the month, all on Zoom.
And what is your age bracket?
Youth ages 12 to 18, or middle school and high school. So middle school looks a little bit different depending on your town. So it's middle school and high school.
And how are the youth leaders chosen?
We had 2 meetings with the Presbytery of Boston and Northern New England last August. And we invited youth leaders and pastors and parents to meet to discuss a vision for youth ministry across the region. And out of these 2 meetings, we formed a leadership team of volunteers to start assessing and addressing the needs of youth and youth leaders in the region.
What have you been able to see coming from this collaboration and this opportunity with the kids? How have you been able to see them grow?
What's really great is seeing the relationships as they develop between the youth, as well as myself and the other youth leaders. We have online communication platforms that we can use even when we're not meeting that are usually active maybe once or twice a week. So the youth are getting in touch with each other and just chatting. The excitement they have around being able to hopefully meet each other in person, it has been really great. And then just the youth sort of opening up and feeling safe to ask questions about faith, to make suggestions about things that we could do together as a group. So just really forming really good relationships with one another and exploring our faith together has been really exciting for me.
Oh, that's wonderful. What are some of the projects that you hope to develop and do over the next year?
We are currently working on a joint confirmation class, which will be on Zoom primarily and will begin this fall. We're also very busy preparing for our first in-person retreat, which will take place at Camp Wilmot on September 17th to 19th. And some other things we have been working on are fundraising initiatives, outreach ideas for the next year, like food justice, and also working with Common Cathedral, an outdoor church in Boston, on some of the work they do with homeless or housing insecure individuals. And we're also working on another recorded service.
Could you tell us more about that? Those are exciting things.
Yeah, so a big part of our vision for New England Glow is to not only build relationships within the youth, but also within our communities, and what outreach we can do to help people in our own communities across the region and maybe even further. So this past winter, one of the things that we did was we got in touch with Amanda Grant Rose, who works at the Common Cathedral, which is an outdoor church in Boston. They meet on the Boston Commons every Sunday. And they are a place where homeless or housing insecure people can come, have worship, and also lunch. So we couldn't go there ourselves this past year because of COVID, but we did a cold weather clothing drive to support the work they do at Common Cathedral. So churches from Boston all the way up to Maine collected cold weather items like coats, sweatpants, boots, hats, mitts, sleeping bags. We gathered them all together through sort of a chain of transport across the region. So the youth did a really great job. They were really, really excited about that. We also invited Amanda Grant Rose to come and speak with the youth about the work they do at Common Cathedral. So we had a great conversation, and it was just a really, really meaningful to the youth that they could do that. And we're hoping that this winter we'll be able to go back for what they call City Reach, and it's where you go and you actually stay overnight at Common Cathedral in the church that they have space in, and you get to see what it's like and learn what it's like to be an unhoused person who lives in the city.
And what are you thinking about with the food insecurity project?
For food insecurity, we're just thinking about exploring what it means for food insecurity in both urban and rural areas, and how that can be different and the different challenges that people may face. And then inviting youth to host a food drive at their local church with and collecting food for their local food pantries. Doing we've been trying to be creative about how we can do outreach and mission work across a region when we can't all be together. So we're exploring some different ways we can do that. So I think that finding our local food pantries in our communities and sharing about the work they do and supporting them with a food drive could be really beneficial, as well as inviting some speakers to come and share with the youth about the different work that they do and the needs in the community. What was really eye-opening for the youth when we had our conversation with Amanda Grant Rose was that somebody who has found themselves in an unhoused situation, it simply didn't have the support network that they needed to help them along the way, and that could be any one of us. So that was really had a really big impact on the youth.
Now, are these projects coming from the leadership team, or are they bubbling from the kids saying this is what they want to do?
It goes kind of both ways. So we have 4 youth on the leadership team who have lots of ideas and make lots of suggestions, and so we try to grab a hold of those and go where they lead us. And then through conversations with youth during youth group, other things come up that we make note of and try to accommodate. So if the youth have an idea, we try to run with it. And if it's something they want to discuss or explore or have questions about, then we try to be really flexible and allow them to lead the way.
So is there something else that you'd like to talk about that I haven't asked you about?
Other thing that we're really, really excited about coming up that I can give you a little bit more information on is the fall retreat. So it's our first in-person retreat, and it's going to take place at Camp Wilmot, which is in Wilmot, New Hampshire, on September 17th to 19th. The theme is Let Your Light Shine, and we've been really busy planning for that and worship planning for that. So we have people from sort of across the region on the planning team for that. So I'm really excited. We have somebody coming on to share music with us, and it's going to be just a really fun weekend for youth to actually meet in person, to get to know each other, relax, some faith formation, lots of games, dancing, activities. So we're really excited about that, and would really love for lots of youth to sign up and join us.
Now, for all of those people who are going to hear this interview through the Synod, how would people get in touch with you?
People can get in touch with me through email. The email address is newenglandglow.rym@gmail.com. And you can also check out our website, which is www.newenglandglow.org, and find contact information and more information on things that are coming up.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.